So Module 1.1 is the first module we are looking at. Module 1.1 is a poem by Robert Frost, and the poem is called The Road Not Taken. The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both, and be one traveler long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth, then took the other just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was greasy and wanted wear, though as for that, the passing there had worn them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day. Yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh. Some were ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. Okay, so now we're going to briefly go through the questions. Question number 1, it asks, what is the speaker in this poem doing? Please explain. Number 2, what does the speaker encounter? So in this poem, the speaker kind of gets to a fork in the road, and he does encounter two choices. I want you to discuss each of those choices and briefly explain them. Number 3, what decision does the speaker have to make in this poem? So like I said, he encounters two choices and he has to make a decision. So I want you to tell me what decision he makes. Number 4, infer the season. How do you know? Explain. So for this question, it wants you to infer the season. So if it's asking you to infer, it is essentially asking you to read between the lines and figure out something. So in this case, you are trying to read between the lines in the poem and figure out what season the speaker is talking about. Number 5, describe the conflict the speaker faces or feels. So the speaker is faced with a conflict in the poem. He gets to a fork in the road where he needs to make a choice. So you need to describe and explain what the speaker is feeling. Number 6, explain why the reader doubts he will ever come back to travel the first road. So if you look at number 6 is actually giving kind of some of the answers to the previous questions. So explain why the reader, or the speaker in this case, doubts he will ever go back to the other road. So the speaker is faced with having to choose a fork in the road and having to make a choice. So I want you to discuss that. And then number 7, analyze the last stanza. What does the speaker mean by, and he says, some were ages and ages hence. So I want you to explain that the best you can. All right, part B of this assignment is asking you to do a personal reflection. So I'll just read the assignment and then I'll briefly explain it. As you begin this course, I would like you to consider, at this point in your life, what road are you on? Do you feel you have taken the beaten path to arrive here? Or has your journey up until now been winding and an obstacle laden? What path are you planning to follow when this experience in high school has come to an end? Is your road mapped or plotted, or is it still unknown? Does Google display your future, or are you diverged off-grid? So what your job here is to deeply and honestly reflect on where you are in this journey of life at this moment. What road has looked like so far, and what you're imagining the road to be like in the future. Has your story been what you think it would look like? I'm asking for you to write 1 page in length with a minimum of 3 paragraphs. Each paragraph should have approximately 5 sentences, but you're more than welcome to write more. It may be neatly handwritten in the space provided, or you can type it, email it to your teacher, and we can print it for you. So for this assignment, I just want you to reflect back on the piece of literature we just read, the poem by Robert Frost, The Road Not Taken, and think about what kind of road you are on right now. Obviously, life has its challenges, has its obstacles. There's often many roads we can take. In this particular poem, the speaker was faced with 2 different roads that he could take. One was off the beaten track, the one that not everyone takes, or not too many people take, and the other one was the path that everybody takes, the straight path, the very easier path, the one that'll probably be the safest path, but not saying necessarily the right path. So I want you to express which path in life you feel like you are taking right now. Are you taking the path everybody takes, or are you maybe diverged off grid a little bit and taking a kind of a different route than other people? So consider that. Good luck.